Glad to have you here with us alongside Michigan's retirement coach, certified financial planner, Mike Douglas. I'm Heather Branch here asking for his ideas on ways you can better prepare for your financial future. And you can start the conversation today at michigansretirementcoach.com or just click on the links we got posted in the show notes. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Michigan's Retirement Coach on YouTube and you can find us there. The conversation around gift cards is one that I feel you as a financial planner, financial advisor, have feelings towards. Are you the kind of person where you'll never give a gift card because cash is king and gift cards are a waste of money?
No, I'm not that.
Okay.
I hate gifts. Like, gifts don't do anything for me emotionally. Is not a love language.
It's not your love language.
I'm actually a big fan of them because I'm like, why don't you go gift yourself something? Just go do that.
So you won't buy it, like you get like the Visa gift card or the American versus like a store gift card.
No, I'd do like a Visa gift card or, whatever, something like that.
Yeah. All right. Well,
on the other hand, though, I'm the worst spender of gift cards.
Do you have the stack somewhere in the junk drawer?
Yeah. I've got them everywhere. I've got some in my car. We have some on my bedside table. I try to get Kimberly to hold on to them all the time, but she typically keeps our restaurant ones because she always has her purse on her.
Yeah.
But no, I just all the time. Like, I've got 2 right now that I've been carrying in my wallet for I don't even know what they are. Probably $25 or $50. I've been carrying them around for like 6 months.
This is the problem with gift cards is how they go unused.
Yeah.
So we're in winter, so a lot of people are sitting on gift cards that they just got over the holiday season. Take heed, ladies and gentlemen. Spend that money that somebody has spent on you because it is estimated that there are $23 billion of unused gift cards. What I think is adorable. $1 billion of that alone is Starbucks gift cards. Send your Starbucks gift cards to me. I will use them.
Someone gave my daughter one.
Well,
she's 8.
Right. She doesn't drink coffee.
And so it's like sitting in my car. Like, she won an ugly sweater contest.
And she got a gift card to Starbucks.
Right. And
cool.
So it's sitting in the front seat of our car. I'm like, all right, well, next time we get her chocolate milk. And it's just such a funny one.
Mm-hmm. This kind of money that is sitting around all of us at all times. I mean, I've got a stack of gift cards at the house. I'm in the club.
Can I say another issue I have with gift cards, though?
Okay.
Like, so if you have a $25 gift card and you place a $30 Amazon order, right?
How do you use it?
Like, so some places will allow you to do partial payments, right? So if I'm out somewhere, I'm like, oh, I guess I'll just swipe this gift card. Then you swipe it and they're like, oh, there's not enough on it. I'm like, right, well, now I've got $7 left and I'll use this for it. Some places won't let you do it. And that whole conversation stresses me out. I'm like, all right, fine, just I'll never use it.
You just avoid using it. I'm with you.
Throw it in my casket when I die. I don't care.
Just throw all that dead money all around me.
That's right. I want a dead money with dead Mike. Just bury me with it.
Let's talk about dead money then, because it's more than just gift cards.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, an unused gift card, fine. That's not going to tank you financially. But when it comes to dead money in people's savings plans, it can be a real problem, can it not?
Yeah, I think that we start to kind of, in life, we end up with these piles. And piles we don't deal with or don't want to deal with, whether it's laundry or it's crap in your basement that you need to get rid of, or it's your garage that needs to be cleaned out. And yet once a year we go through and do a spring cleaning. And then over the winter, especially in Michigan, you start to just kind of stockpile this stuff. You're like, well, when the weather gets nice, I'll take care of it. The same is true of portfolios. Sometimes if we're not careful, we can start to stockpile cash. We can have portfolio drift. We can have where our investments just kind of start shifting one way or the other. We never intended to, but because it's just the nature of it. And we need certain metrics or calibration tools to bring things back into focus. And that's what's missing from most people's life is a financial spring cleaning. But rather than doing it once a year, it needs to be at least probably quarterly.
Really?
And things like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you think about your portfolio, and imagine if you're, and one of the best ways I heard it described years ago was like a balloon system, right?
Okay.
If you have 3 balloons in your mouth, okay, one is specifically already stretched out, right? Like one is designed for quick inflation, another one is designed for medium inflation, and another one's designed for very low inflation, right? And you hook them all up to, air helium tanks. And the one helium tank shoots out air very, very fast. The other one's medium, the other one's slow. So you take the slow balloon and put it on the slow helium tank, right? medium balloon on a medium tank, fast balloon, fast tank. And you turn them all on at the same time. Well, not surprisingly, even though you had 3 balloons that all looked exactly the same when you started, the one that is ready for rapid growth with the fastest flow of air becomes the biggest balloon. The medium is medium. That is how portfolios work. Okay. Our growth funds, if I take $1,000 or $100,000 or $1 million, doesn't matter, and I split it evenly across aggressive, moderate, conservative, and I let them all go at the same time. Well, if things are going well, the aggressive is just going to run away. The moderate's going to do pretty well, and the conservative is not going to do very well. And then if we never touch it, all of a sudden our whole portfolio is going to, the largest concentration, it's not going to be a third, a third, a third anymore. It's going to be massively growth oriented, somewhat, moderate oriented, and very little conservative. But yet I wanted it a third, a third, a third. So what I do is I take some of the air out of the fast balloon and I put it in the small balloon. And I kind of rebalance this thing constantly where I'm just taking, all right, well, take it, put that air in here. It's a rebalancing. So if you let it just go, it's out of control. That's the way this thing works.
Okay.
People try to do that once a year. But the way we've seen the market move in the past 7-8 years, the shifts are very rapid and they're very quick. So you need a more frequent recalibration. You need to be able to put shift things back over to a right allocation, get rid of that. That's what called portfolio drift is the balloon scenario, where I just buy these things, and because I don't rebalance them, the one just really runs away from me. The moderate one kind of does what I expected, and then conservative really doesn't do anything for me. So what I have to do is I have to constantly reshift it back to where it's supposed to be. Then I have to also understand the tax consequences of that shift, and that depends on the type of money. So when you do that, maintain proper asset allocation. Another one is consider getting rid of non-productive assets.
Okay.
Right? You want to, so number one, maintain your proper asset allocation. Number two, get rid of non-productive assets. And I always think of this skit, not skit, but Nate Bargatze, one of our favorite comedians. We love him very much. Nate, if you ever want on the podcast, just let us know.
Or if you're reading retirement plan.
I watch yours. I watch Nate Land all the time. So when we do this, though, he talks about Facebook Marketplace, and it's one of on his thing on Prime. And he talks about how his wife is going through selling things that should be trash.
How dare you?
These are things that should be thrown away. And
I'm with his wife. I'm team Facebook Marketplace, so go ahead.
But the way he describes it is so funny because he goes, hey, we're selling our stuff on Facebook Marketplace. I found that out from a guy on my front porch. And he's like, this should be trash, but instead my wife sold it for $5. Best case scenario, we make $5. Worst case scenario, our family's murdered. Like that, it's like a really funny joke, a very funny bit. But they're going through and getting rid of old stuff, right? And again, we all have stuff in the garage, stuff in the basement, and there are some unproductive assets in our life. Did you buy something as a collectible that you've had for 10 years and now it has zero appreciation?
I don't want to talk about Beanie Babies.
That's right. Exactly. Do you have that, whatever it is, the thing that you said, no, this is the ticket. This will be the one. And guess what? 10 years later, it's still not the one.
Yeah.
So you may want to consider getting rid of things like that, whether it's a non-productive rental property, right? Well, I was going to do this, but now I found that it's more hassle than it's worth. And because of all the increased cost to repair or maintain, and I can't inflate the rent enough to keep up with all that, I just get rid of it. It could be non-productive stocks. If people feel like if they make a decision to buy a stock, like they have to wait until it does them a favor to sell it.
Or if maybe they have an inherited stock or a stock of like a company that they worked for. Like there's a lot people have. It's interesting to see how some people are really literally emotionally invested in some of their stocks. They have a hard time letting go.
And I understand it, but the inherited stocks are the worst. Just from the perspective of well, my dad thought that was the best thing to get, and I agree. But the same people who were like, the internet's going to be a fad, are the same people we're taking some stock advice from because 50 years ago they bought Southern Bell, which now has turned into whatever phone company,
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily bad, but like when I have people come in and say, I got this inherited stock and I keep it because it pays a 3.5% to 4% dividend. That's great. There are plenty of stocks paying a 6, 7, 8, 9% dividend right now.
Yeah.
So just rebalance, find a more productive asset.
Okay.
So have a proper allocation, get rid of those non-productive assets. I guess Facebook Marketplace is a way you could get it done. But in your portfolio, you can clean up some of those non-productive assets. The third thing is ensure your investments are aligned with your income and growth needs.
Okay.
So going back to that dividend model, well, I'm going to keep X on because it pays 4%. And then we run the numbers and say, but you need about a 5.5% dividend to accomplish your income goals the rest of your life. Well, Exxon no longer fits the criteria to accomplish our goals. So we want to make sure that there's nothing about Exxon one way or the other, but that's just an example. It's the one that I hear quite a bit because people have loved Exxon over the years because it stays steady at 4% dividends.
Yeah. Yeah.
It may not fit the model anymore. So just making sure it fits who you are today and not necessarily who you were when you bought it or who you were when you inherited it or who your parents were when they bought it. Just build models that constantly update because the market changes. Everything changes so quickly. We have a new administration in office. Every 4 years to 8 years, we get a completely new ideology. And as we go through, things are going to change now for the next 4 years than what they were the last 4 years. The market will be volatile. It'll go up. It'll go down. They will reset certain calibrations. All these things change all the time, and yet we act like our portfolio shouldn't be constantly evolving to keep up with that. You don't want to chase returns, but you don't want to get stuck in old mud either. So that's that. And then number 4, it's simple. Rinse and repeat. Reevaluate on a scheduled basis. Don't allow yourself to get into that portfolio drift model where you get a year, 2 years out, and all of a sudden a market crash happens and a bunch of money's gone. Reevaluate on a consistent basis.
Do you think that as far as reevaluating, I think you said, did you say as far as in retirement goes, we should be doing that every quarter? Because probably in our working years, we don't need to be doing it as much, maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah, I think in a 401k, you have 22 options. And out of those 22, there's a handful that are there. You just let them run and do their thing.
Yeah.
Once you're towards retirement, and I'm not saying you have to rebuild your portfolio quarterly.
No, you just
but your portfolio should be
adjusting the widgets.
At least rebalanced quarterly.
Yeah.
Just to where we get to a good place. And it's not saying change philosophies or anything else. Just are we making sure we're staying with the times? Are we making sure that I'm not getting drift? Are we making sure? And I also would say if you're a do-it-yourselfer, just set a reminder. Put a calendar event and know that the first of the quarter.
Google Calendar, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we do as a firm. We say, all right, we know that we have auto rebalances that are going to happen and portfolio readjustments that happen quarterly. And it's a scheduled day, it's a calendar day, it's a blocked off time, and we get it done. So no matter where you are in your life, it's good to have that schedule. Just like when we bought our first home, I found a first-time home buyer's calendar. This is such a nerd thing, right? Where it was I found it and it was everything you need to do. And I put it in our Google Calendar. I went through and did all this stuff, right? Here's when you change your filters. Here's when you change your this. And I invited Kimberly to everything on this list. and it was so great. And she was like, are you telling me to do these things? I'm like, no, I'm saying we need to do those things.
Yes, this is a we project. Yeah.
Yes. And she was like, okay. Because I thought for a second we were about to have a talk, right? Because because the way I put it in there, I didn't put Douglas reevaluation of air filters. It was replace the HVAC filters. And she gets an invite to it. She's like,
excuse me, sir?
Yeah. Say that one more time in my face. But no, I think we just need to create these systematic scheduled things. And it just makes life so much easier because you don't have to remember anything. Just schedule them, stay on top of it, and stay at the front end of your retirement or your investments, wherever you are. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. When it comes to our dead money, then, we need to allocate, we need to declutter, we need to align, and we need to reevaluate.
Yeah.
And the reevaluation is about addressing the first 3 things on a constant, regular basis, right? This is the plan. And in our retirement, every quarter, we should be looking at this. If you're a DIYer, you're looking at it independently. If you need some help, here's your guy, Mike Douglas, ready to help you get to work figuring out these things. Because I think that for most people, that's the problem, the intimidation of having to do it themselves is
and really it's it doesn't require a quarterly meeting with your advisor. Just make sure they're doing it quarterly.
There it is, right? They better be sending you an email quarterly saying this is what
you should be golfing, fishing, RVing, whatever you're supposed to be doing, and they should be doing it quarterly.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying, if you have questions, if you need some help in this space, Mike is here to be that guy with and for you. MichigansRetirementCoach.com is where to start the conversation. We also have links posted in the show notes if you just want to click there. Let's get to work. Allocate, declutter, align, reevaluate, get that dead money on out of here. I like the spring cleaning idea. You're speaking my love language, the idea of organizing and decluttering.
I'm saying it. Spring cleaning is like a faith speak, as today in Michigan it's 4 degrees.
Right.
Real feel is -15.
Get
and
a
I'm
jump
like,
start on the spring
cleaning, spring cleaning. Goose
There it
fraba.
is. Get a jump start on the spring cleaning. That's what
Yeah.
I say. Again, it's MichigansRetirementCoach.com.